Hey guys, welcome back to Get Into It with Jason Hook. Yes, it's me, Jason. Beard's gone, hair's shaven. Got some white jowls going on here, but anyways, welcome back. We're as usual on the South Shore, the greatest shore ever to exist. And let's get into it. So what we're listening to right now is the classic Boston Not LA comp. 30 songs total. Just a snapshot of Boston at the time when it came out. We got Jerry's Kids, Proletariat, Gronoids, the FUs, Gangrene, Decadence, and the Freeze. I'm going to show it back again. And this is on Modern Method, which was a label that is connected to Newbury Comics, as some of you may know, is a chain of record stores in the New England area that has been around for a long time. And a lot of them have kind of sadly gotten a little bit away from music, but a lot of, fart spray and Bazinga t-shirts and stuff like that now with a tiny CD section and some vinyl. But I still hit them up every once in a while, so. But this is Boston Not LA. Look at that fucking dive, it's awesome. So, in the vein of this record, what we're going to do today is I'm going to do a little retrospective of a label, which is one of my personal favorite labels, put out some of the greatest Boston hardcore punk bands of all time, and that's Exclaim. They only have 6 releases, well, 6 official releases. We'll get into that later. And I'm just going to show them in order. They're around 1982 to 1983 is when all this came out. And it's again like this comp. It's just a snapshot of what was going on in Boston at the time. So the first one is SSD Controls. Kids will have their say. And the bummer about my version that I own of this is there's some scratches on the covers, on the cover, and on the back too. There's some scratches. I don't know if the cat or was just caught up against something at one point, but anyways, this was a split between Exclaim and Dischord Records. I mean, you guys, this is just kind of like a trendsetter, the creation of the sound, a lot of people say. And it's also Boston, so of course I love it. Now this is, some of you may know, this is a really kind of hard to find record. This was only released on Exclaim on vinyl, Exclaim Dischord split release. It's not been repressed. Any other vinyl you find is going to be a bootleg. It was never released on cassette or CD, so those are going to be bootlegs. Check them out if you can get them for that for a cheaper price, but one of the problems with them is some of them are kind of poor quality, and some of them are actually made to kind of pass off as original presses. So, my friend Christian, what's up Christian? We always talk about this bootleg of this record that came from somewhere in Europe where it's recorded at the wrong speed. But it's not even like a 45 or 33, it's like a 40. They must have had like a weird dub or something. And we always joke around how funny we think it is for people who, the first time they ever SSD hear that and think that's what they sound like, and then hear this and it's like, what? No, that's not it. But again, these are all black vinyl, simple covers. Get the back here. It's cool because you got both iconic record labels there. Did come with an insert. Again, just a basic printed live shot there. Lyrics on the other side. One of the things that stinks about this label is this insert. It's got some mildew on it, so I don't know where this came from. I don't know where it was. Definitely looks like it was stored in an attic or basement for a long time. And this is awesome too. SSD would like to play your city or town July 16th through August 1st, 1982. Call and then a phone number. So I might have to give that a call if you guys can see that if it focuses. I'm going to do that number a call and see if I can book SSD. And then again, it's just the vinyl is just standard black vinyl. And one of the things about this is one of the bootlegs where you see the Exclaim logo, it's spelled E-Exclaim. Spelled properly maybe, the proper way. And then, but like I said, this thing's been booted so many times. Some of them are poor quality, some of them are high quality, some of them try not to act like boots, they try to pass them off as original. Some will let you know it's a boot. I believe there's a label called Reflex that booted a lot of this stuff in the early 2000s. But just a classic hardcore record. beginning of an era of bands. You know, these guys played with all the big bands at the time. Just classic stories. Singer Springers from the South Shore, so that's awesome. So of course I you know, automatically back it. Back any South Shore. So again, that's SSD Control, also known as SSD. Kids will have their say. Sorry, I get a problem. Again, that's SSD Control. Kids will have their say. Next, one of my personal favorites is the FUs. Exclaim number 2. Kill for Christ. With some Pusshead artwork. It's Pusshead, right? I mean, I always think I'm pronouncing it wrong, but I'm just gonna say Pusshead. I'm gonna go with that. Great artwork. I used to have a shirt with this on it, but it doesn't fit anymore. Again, like basic back, live shot, songs, Exclaim logo. These guys are real good too. They're not as. This is kind of frantic sounding, fast and thrashy. The insert live. You got a live shot there. Lyrics on the back. Song lyrics on the back. Again, basic labels. Black vinyl. Almost like typewritten out. Black vinyl. This is Exclaim number 2. Again, this thing has been pressed a bunch of times. This has actually had an official repress, which is on Taag Records, and then it's also been booted as well. There's a bootleg that has this and their other LP on it too. That I believe is on that Reflex label. Which were like those. I had those first. They're long gone. I ended up trading them away when I got originals, or just giving them away because I just kind of got them to hold spots for these. Again, I mentioned in the last video, I've been buying these 15 years now, 16 years. This isn't all, like, it's taken me years to get these. I usually wait till I can find a real nice copy. I don't like to buy them online, really. I like to buy them in person because they're that special for me. Just, again, FUs, Kill for Christ. Just great cover art. Great cover art. Proletariat. Next we have SSD's second LP, Get It Away, which is official Exclaim number 3. Now this one, you can tell they went a little bit more intense on this one. It's got like a silver cover, a gloss on it. It's not like the cardstock with the blue ink. This has been booted a million times. Again, this has never been officially re-released, so you see it on vinyl and it's not an Exclaim, it's a boot. Back, you know, a little nice put together logo and live shots. This has an insert as well. One-sided. You know, there's not much on this one. This only has, I think it's 7 songs, I think, total. Options. Yeah, 7 songs. Thanks to all our friends. Again, Exclaim Records, copyright. Jackets made in Canada. Every single one says made in Canada for the most part. And this one, you can get a little fancy with the labels. Actually have the SSD logo and the Exclaim logo, and this is, I need to clean this thing. This is the only one I bought on the internet, off the internet. I actually bought it from the singer of that band, the Nightbirds. He's doing a bit of a record purge. And I didn't have this one yet. This is the last one I purchased too. Which is probably about 2 years ago maybe. But I know this is boring, watch me put records away, but SSD Control, Get It Away. Again, the only official is Exclaim. Anything, I need a copy of Get It Away that's not an Exclaim is a boot. Some of them, you can go online and look, some of them it's like one thing will be different on them. There's like a lot of tricky stuff with these, but another great record, 7-song banger. Then the next one we have here is the D.Y.S. Wolfpack LP. This one is supposed to have an insert. The version I have doesn't have one. You got live shots in the back. And the Exclaim logo. Okay, look, I don't know if you guys can see right here, this dude doing this gnarly dive. That's actually Dickie Barrett from the Mighty Mighty Boss Stones. He's in a band called Impact Unit, which was around in the early 80s, played with all these guys. And I suppose he did the cover art too, or had something to do with the cover art, which is really cool, just really weird. And I went right back to the simple, just almost, it's blurring up, but almost just simple typewriter text for the labels, except for, and then the D.Y.S logo. Just cool. I love, dude, the one thing I thought was awesome, that I thought was awesome about a lot of the 80s bands, was they just drew the coolest logos. They just look so cool. It wasn't, you know, they didn't just crap out a record. They had, like, everybody had a logo, so you can draw it on your jacket. Or make your own t-shirts or whatever. But these guys started playing out again, the new stuff. I'm not a fan of it. I don't really know who is a fan of it. No offense. Dave Smalley, the singer, went on to be in a bunch of other bands, Taag Nasty, for a long time. He was in All. Was it All? Yeah, All for a little bit. I think so. I might be having a brain fart. Started Conservative Punk, that website, which is a bunch of shit. But D.Y.S plays out again. They put out a live LP. And I forgot to mention this earlier, all these bands with the exception of one, well, two technically, went on to put out really bad rock records. They got bit by the rock bug, or basically what they've been listening to before hardcore. SSD was real bad. D.Y.S's was horrible. The FUs turned into the Straw Dogs, which was cool. I mean, they changed their name. And Jerry's Kids always stayed the Jerry's Kids, which we'll get into that one in a minute. Alright, the next one is, let me tell a brief story before this. This is the only original press I don't have one of these on Exclaim. It's the FU's My America. I do have these two represses. These are official represses. They're on Classy Records. And there's two different covers on these. You got the Waterfall, and you got the Lightning Bolt. This record is fucking awesome. They kind of went more towards, like, out of the crazy breakneck speed and more into, like, a little bit of structure to the songs. I love this record. I need a copy on Exclaim, so if anybody knows, give me a call, leave me a message. One of the reasons why I don't own one on Exclaim yet was the labels, I mean, the jackets for the Exclaim version were printed on this really heavy, thick cardstock, and they're printed real cheaply, where they all have massive ring wear. The corners are dinged. Like, I think if you rub your hand or finger across it for a while, you're literally going to sear off some of the cover. They're just really cheap. And I've had a couple opportunities to buy them, but either the sleeves are just, the covers are just destroyed. And, you know, it's not necessarily a really expensive record, but it's not necessarily cheap. So I'm just going to hold out till for a nice copy. I mean, I've been trying to buy these things for a long time, so I think if I play my cards right, I can get a good one. But that's My America by the FUs. And the Lightning Bolt cover. And the Waterfall cover. And the Exclaim version is a sun setting or rising behind a mountain. It's kind of similar font. This it more looks like this one with the font. But I need one of those, so again, message. And then the last one that came on Exclaim number 6, is Jerry's Kids, Is This My World. This is a fucking ripper of a record. Absolute just fucking ripper of a record. You got the back here with the live shots. Didn't believe there was an insert. Here's the FUs right here. You got the live shots, Exclaim. It's a nice cover. 1983. But this is a great, great record. Like, I know a lot of people who aren't even necessarily into punk and hardcore. Like, I know some dudes are metal and stuff that just really like this record. It's fast, it's frantic, it's fucking angry. Chris Doherty played guitar on it, who, if you might know, right there, he's right there in the crowd. He is a singer and guitar player for Gangrene, which is a band that is on the Boston LA comp. Didn't have an Exclaim release. I don't know why. I don't know if there was a story behind that, because they were around the same exact time as all these bands. So this came with it's not an insert, but it's a sleeve for the record. Just got some live shots, some recycled from the back. The lyrics on the other side. And then, you know, as usual, like I've shown you already, just got the simple I keep on trying to say computer because I'm typewriter. Just typed out labels. Jot into this. Typed out labels. And so those are the 6 official, if you want to say, Exclaim releases. There is a Fu Manchu record that came out in 2012 that's listed as an Exclaim release. I believe Al Barillo, who played guitar in SSD, who ran the label. I believe the address on the back of these are his house. Yeah, he had something to do with that record. I don't know what it was. I don't think he played. He might have like produced it or something of that nature. So it is listed as an official release. Also, this band called Cops and Robbers, which was a local hardcore band from around here in the early 2000s. Their first 7-inch has an Exclaim logo on it, which I believe is just kind of like they stole it, just put it on there. That was another great band. They're called Cops and Robbers. I have a copy of that 7-inch, but it's somewhere in the abyss, and I couldn't dig it out. But you know, when I've shown these records off, I know they're hard to find and they might be a little expensive. I wasn't doing it to be like a cool record dude, or maybe I was. Who knows? Don't judge me. But I know a lot of people are interested in this kind of stuff, and you don't really see them around because like almost everything except for the SSD stuff was re-released on Taag and was kept in press throughout the early 90s, even into the early 2000s. Every band went on to release later records on different labels. Martin Method was one of them. Taag, you know, as I mentioned like 5 times, Taag Records was another one. But the SSD stuff with those 2 records, they're 2 of their best records before they got into rock. They got into like the rock sound, I would say. I know some people like that stuff. I'm not a big fan of it. D.Y.S. was the worst, though, in my opinion. Needle pierces the flesh. My body is a temple. Which is really weird stuff. Like, this complete disconnect. But, you know, they put out stuff that's all, you know, you can find it. You can find the later stuff. But these Exclaim releases are just, it's like a perfect time capsule of Boston. And I was born in 82, so I was really young when these came out. But, so like I said, I need a copy of My America. Let me know if you know anyone. A nice clean copy. Oh my. Bleached whale face, guys. And you know, again, we're listening to the Boston, not LA comp. Looks like we might just make it to side, on the end of side A here. You guys have to wait for maybe another video for Gangrene, Decadence, and The Freeze. The Freeze are one of my favorite Massachusetts hardcore punk bands. Beginning to end, and even their later stuff just held up. So that's all I got for now. If I missed anything, I'm sorry. I'll grab some links, post them below if you guys want to check this out if you've never heard it. And thanks for watching. And again, Mars Records rules. Bye.